Right, so today at the study, we want to take a look at roots, right? It's a quick review on what roots are. Every time we have a quadratic, right? Every time we have a quadratic and we solve it, online, you'll see it here, okay? Right, so what you're watching here, right? There will be last, right? I don't know why that happened. Right, anyway, so a quadratic generally shaped like this, it has two roots, alpha and beta. Right, don't watch there, watch there. Right? Right, it has two roots, and the roots are where it cuts the x-axis. Right? These roots have some special properties. Right? Whenever you add them, you will always get a particular value. When you multiply them, you'll always get a particular value. Right? So these roots have a particular property that ties into the quadratic. All right. So we're looking at the roots, we're looking at alpha, beta. Right? So if alpha and beta are the roots of ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, for those who knew, is a quadratic. Okay, quadratics look like this. The highest power of x is 2. Okay, the value in front of x squared is a, the value in front of x is b, and constant is c. Okay, every quadratic looks like that. So if alpha and beta are the solutions of this, then, right, two quick things. Alpha plus beta, we call this the sum of the roots. This value is always equal to minus b over a. So if you take out minus b on a, that will always be the sum of your roots all the time. Right? And then alpha beta, which is the product of your roots, is equal to c on e. All right. So those are two of the things that you can get from a quadratic. Okay with that? There's one more thing to note. Don't write yet. Right? We could write a quadratic in terms of alpha and beta all the time. Right? So a quadratic could be written in terms of these two. And this is the general form. Right? So generally, a quadratic can be written like this. What would happen if I divided everything here by a? What will happen? And you'll get b over a, and you'll get c over a. Correct? But b over a is what? Is this? You'll see now? So if I divide this by a, divide this by a, divide this by a, then I'll get b on a here, c on a here. But remember, alpha plus beta is minus b on a. So I could take off this and I could write this. X squared minus the sum of the roots. Put the minus sign to cater for that. Right? So b on a is really the sum of the roots. Right? Plus the what? C on a, which is the product of the roots. So any quadratic can be written like that. If you know the roots, add it up, that'll give you the value here. Multiply them, that'll give you the value here. Okay with that? Yeah. Copy down this and let's try some examples. I think the last name quadratic. So after this, we can write an SD on quadratic, everything that we do is quadratic. Right, that's the most popular function in advanced. Quadratic. Okay, right, that's story in the next one. Right, by the way, it's in there, I'm gonna add everybody to this. Right, go to online. If you're not in the group, just do my last favor. WhatsApp me, please. If you're not in the group, so send me a WhatsApp, right? What's your name? What's your name? Right. Right, if you're not in the group, when you have the that's on WhatsApp, right? It's cool, right? Forget it. I didn't know you last week. Will you show? Right. Let's see if I go under the cut. Okay, yeah, that's the right. So I have to go right. Click on it in message. Sorry, then be helpful as when you are using current. Everybody password? Right. And you beat Right. Anybody else missing? Right? Okay. Right. I'll continue to that just now. Right. So let's try an example. Let's try an example. It's a simple topic. Once you remember these little things here, right? But of course, as I told you before, I must find a way to make it a little bit more difficult, right? If alpha and beta are the roots of, do some nice numbers, right? Are the roots of 3x squared minus 6x minus 9 is equal to 0, right? Let's see if we can find a few things. Let's see if we can find part 1, alpha plus beta. Then let's see if we can find alpha by beta, and let's make it a little more complicated. Let's see if we can find 1 on alpha plus, all right, now everybody else here. Let us try to find alpha plus beta squared. Okay, so let's try the first one. How are we going to get alpha plus beta? First thing we need to get here is what is A, what is B, and what is C. A is how much? Positive 3. B is how much? Negative 6. And the C is what? Minus 9. That's okay. So how we getting alpha plus beta? Real simple. Alpha plus beta is minus B on A. So that's minus B over A. So that'll be minus minus. So that'll be minus. Notice whenever I make a substitution, I'm going to put the actual value surrounded by brackets. Don't leave this out. Okay. So minus 6 and A is 3. Now cancel 6 over 3 is 2. That's okay. Right. Next one. Alpha by beta. Alpha by beta is C on A. C is minus 9 and D is 3. So that's minus 9 on 3, which is minus. Are you okay with that? So sure, I need some help. How are we going to do alpha plus beta all squared? Ready? Square this? Yeah, that's all. Sure, come on, smart today, boy. 2 squared, 4. That's okay? Right? So that's basically what you will do. You have to find a way, and based on what they give you, you have to find a way to put in these values. Sometimes you have to simplify, sometimes it's a straight substitution. Right? So if you look at 4 here, I just split it in 1 more here. How are we going to find 1 over alpha plus 1 over beta? That's a little bit harder. What we're going to do here, right, to get this in terms of this. Any ideas? How are we going to get this in terms of values that we have? Any guess? Anybody? Anybody online? Divide by minus B. You could try, but not. That wouldn't work there. Good try. Anybody? I guess. If you're feeling shy, you can WhatsApp. Yeah, think about it. How are we going to get 1 alpha plus 1 beta? Yeah, put it right there. Right here, you'll come with anything? You'll came up with anything. Let me see. Esther said you will get. Right, so what Esther basically saying there, we would have to find the LCM. Right? So we could try finding the LCM. What's the LCM here? How you simplify fractions? You're doing this in maths, Imran, right? How you doing that? What are the denominator be? It's how we doing maths last week. It will be right, but remember I'll show you a shortcut out always good. Alpha by beta. And the numerator is what? Beta by 1, alpha by 1. Remember that? Remember doing that? So to find the LCM here, all we do is we multiply alpha by beta, right? Beta by 1, alpha by 1, and write down the plus sign. That's okay? And we have a value for this. What this is? This value is 2. This value is 2, and this value is minus 3. That's it. So the answer for this is minus 2 and 3. Okay with that? Sure. So this was the common board. That's it. Copy it up. Copy it up and then try one. Anybody online not in the group? Anybody online still not in the group? Esther, did I add you to the form 5 Esther? Okay. What's the last name here? Okay. You know, copy down. Let's try one. Right, everybody should be there so far. But yo, that's pass the Wi-Fi down. Let's start, right? Pass it. Right, let us continue. Everybody here with us? So the trick will come in being able to simplify this. Right? You got to be able to simplify this in terms of alpha plus beta and alpha by beta. Try to do it. Let's do what we got. That's alpha squared beta plus alpha beta squared, right? This is alpha squared beta plus alpha beta squared. Right? Right. Right. That's right. Oh, C is 4. Wait, why did I write 4? I was supposed to write 5. Wait, you'll start already. No, yeah, I come and say that, then put the right five then. No, no, we don't go. Be sure. That was before. Sorry about the bad, you know. From then down upward, you'll get bad. But well, you tricky one, right? Yeah, you didn't feel there to 55. Right, it should be added, right? Everybody should be added, right? Let's do we keep up with. Wait, come up with that. Something. Very good. Or the pressure. See, look, you have to find a way to get alpha by beta or alpha plus beta, right? You have to figure out how am I going to get that, right? How am I going to, all right, let's take a look at this quickly. This is minus b on a, so that's 20 on 5, that's 4, right? Positive 4, right? Because the minus some cancel. Alpha by beta, that will be c on a. C is 4 on 5, right? You can put 4 on 5 was 0.8, so it will look nicer here. This one, when you find the LCM, it will be alpha beta, alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta is 4, alpha by beta is 0.8, right? So that'll be 4 and 5, that will flip over and here we go. 5, 5. Right, here's the problem. I thought we could figure it out so far. We have to find a way to get this and this. We can't add it because they are different terms. Correct. That's okay. But what they both have in common? They both have an alpha and they both have a beta, right? So if I try to factor it out, Nathan, so I factor out alpha and I factor in out beta. Because they both have alpha and beta in them. So if I factor out alpha beta from here, what would I get? Alpha. And if I factor out alpha beta from here, what would I get? Beta. This looks nicer now. Yeah. Alpha by beta is 0.8. Alpha plus beta is 4. So that'll be 0.8 multiplied by 4. That's what? 3.2. Right, I didn't give you enough time to finish it up, but let's see if anybody online got it. So if you got the first 3. Right, let's use the same quadratic, right? Let's use the same quadratic. How are we going to get alpha squared plus beta squared? This one a little bit hard. You all may have remembered this on the code. I recognize this from the code. Anybody remember what it is? What was alpha squared plus beta squared in the code? Remember? It was alpha plus beta all squared and we minus or something. Right? So if I ask you to find alpha squared plus beta squared, that expansion is this. Right? Alpha plus beta whole squared minus 2 alpha beta. That's okay? So we can just plug in the value and work it out, right? So finish off 5 for me, and then I want to challenge you with 6. Right? I want to challenge you with 6, right? Try this one in. And let's mix it up there for you. Those who online message your answer, but don't message the host, right? Message the next nickel call. Right? Don't message here, right? Otherwise, Nathan will be watching the answer. And just rename here. Good, you know? I not to be that much. Right? Do not message that contact. Right? Try 516. That's the way come up with. What is the pixel students go? If you want to answer topics, right? I want to make sure that we can put inside it something. Right? If you do something I didn't do, I'll just keep it about me some days. I'll be practice on. All right. Already focused is like exam and make sure you get in the end. Right, but you all come again. You'll come again. How are you all doing? Well, how are you all doing? Yeah, right? Ah. You remain that part, right? Well, we remain that part. Yes, why? Right, so today we'll kind of finish up for graphics. I'll give you a worksheet and then we will continue. Right, message your answers. Right, let's see what you got, right? Okay, when you have 2 minutes here again. And the hint is when you work this out, you will need this. Right? What's this here again? Alpha plus beta was 4. Alpha by beta is 0.8. How much you got here? Good job. Right? Take your time in the next one. Take it guys before now. Right. Right. We are. Look back at what we did for the foods number. Right. Right? Can you go? All right, nice. So see. Right. Let me just check out online. I only have one answer. Vinay, instant anything? Vinay. Vinay is sleeping. Right. Who else was Sana answer na Vinay? Right. Safir, check back in the vision there, Safir. Right? Olya. Remember this. Right, and this is why this so like when we did this in simplifying and math, this is important. You have to be able to simplify fractions, and the rule never changes. Right, the rule is always alpha. You multiply here. You multiply the denominators, and you kind of cross multiply the numerator and denominator here. So alpha by alpha, alpha squared, beta by beta. Beta squared. That's okay. And then you put the plus sign in the middle. So this by this is this. This by this is this. This by this is this. Sorry, this by this is this. And then put the plus sign in the middle. We already know what is alpha squared plus beta squared. Alpha squared plus beta squared is 14.4. Alpha by beta is 0.8 and you've got 18. Online, you'll follow us now. Amrit. Guys here, are you okay there? I got it by a message. I there. Imran, if you follow this. Okay, and it have many different types, but the principle is you gotta be able to try to simplify. Okay. I like simplification, so important, right? All right. Let's try a different type, right? So sometimes here what it is, sometimes just give you a quadratic, right? Sometimes just give you a quadratic and ask you to find all these things. But other times they will ask you, like this number 7 here. Sometimes they will ask you to find a new equation. Find a new equation So a new equation, not this equation, something new, right? Find a new equation whose roots are 1 on alpha, 1 on beta. So they want you to figure out a new equation. But the new equation has these as its roots, not alpha and beta. Right? So how are we going to do something like that? How are we going to develop that new equation? If they ask you to find a value, it's doing this. If they ask you to find a new equation, what you're going to use, you're going to use the little general form I gave you. X squared minus the sum of the roots. The sum of the roots is what? 1 on alpha plus 1 on beta by x. So x squared minus the sum of the roots plus the product of the roots equal to 0. I remember that? Right? Remember I gave you this? Right? I gave it a general rule. All quadratics are x squared minus the sum of the roots, and you're using the new roots, right? These are the new roots here, plus the product of the roots. Are you okay with that? Do we know the sum of the roots? Work it out already. Do we know the sum of the roots? The sum of the roots is what? 5, right? So x squared minus 5x plus, again, this stuff. How am I getting the product of the roots? How again the product? 1 on alpha by 1 on beta. How much is that? Somebody mumbling it there. 1 over. Right. So 1 on alpha by 1 on beta is 1 on alpha beta. Correct? 1 on alpha multiplied by 1 on beta is 1 by 1 is 1. Alpha by beta is alpha beta. That's okay? And do we know this value? We know this value as what? 0.8. That's it? Good to go. Right? So you'll get x squared minus 5x plus, what is this here? 1.25. What's this here? Checking the calculator. Yeah. 1.25 equal to 0. That's it. Are you okay with that? Are you sure? Sure. Right? So that's the way you work out the new equation. Once you see new equation, write it. X squared minus the sum of the roots, whatever the roots are, by x plus the product of the roots. Okay? Copy it down. right? So everybody on the group, I will message you. We have no face-to-face next week for sure. I'll message you doing the online, right? Okay, shouldn't be able to have a class. Just next week, alone. Right? My that's all online next week, everything. Anybody writing here? Anybody writing here? You're taking up here, right? All right, try this last one here for me, please. Last one. And I give it 2 minutes again, 3 minutes again. I just put in first 2 sheet parts there, right? So alpha plus beta is minus b on a. So that's minus 8 on 1. So that's 8. Are you okay there? So you gamma. Nice. Alpha by beta is c on a. So that's minus 3 on 1, minus 3. 2 marks. For what part 3? What part right there? For sure. Huh? Yeah, why do you part? Right? And anybody could tell me what to factorize here instead? Right. Factor out alpha squared, beta squared. Right? They both have alpha squared, beta squared common. Right? But let's just say you factored out alpha beta. You would have gotten alpha squared beta plus alpha beta squared. Okay? You would have gotten something like this. But the problem is, this is still, we don't have this. So you might have recognized it, but wait, I could factor out alpha beta again. And I will end up with alpha plus beta. Correct? Because if you factor out alpha beta here, this should look familiar to the one we did last time. Right? So if you reach here, you can factorize again. Right? So alpha beta is minus 3, alpha beta minus 3, alpha plus beta 8. So what's that? 9 by 8? Yeah, 9 by 8 equals 72. Anybody got that? Yeah, very good. Right, so you have to look out for that. Right, so 72. Right, we know this one already. We know this already, right? We know the rule for this. This is alpha plus beta squared minus 2 alpha beta. Alpha plus beta is 8. Alpha by beta is minus 3. Okay, so this one here is 64 plus 6, which is 70. Are you okay with that? Oh yeah, last one. Think you got it? Tell the last one quickly. Right, so let's guide more along quick here. Imran, what going in here? Try it. What going in here? Look back, turn back to the beginning of the notice. What goes in here? In this case, sum of the roots, right? Inside here is always sum of the roots, right? So it's sum of the roots. So it will be alpha squared plus beta squared. What go in here? So this is not 1 over because the roots are different. Actually, question. So inside here is the product of the roots, right? So what do I write here? Right, alpha squared by beta squared. Okay, we already know alpha squared plus beta squared is 70. What is alpha squared by beta squared? Well, this way, yeah? 8. So it will be alpha beta all squared. Okay, alpha beta is -3. So it's 9. 9. So your final answer is x squared minus 70 on x plus 9. That's okay? You okay with that? So right, so I'll give you a little worksheet and we'll do a lot more of these. Are you okay with that? Online? You're okay with that then? So for homework, I want you to go over quadratics and write a little summary for yourself. All right? I will give you one, but I want you to have your own. Write a little summary on everything you learn in quadratics, and next day we're going to do questions only. Okay? But you need to know those things. You need to know all the rules, how to find minimum, maximum, all the little things, right? Okay with that? So for homework, spend some time and do that, my please. Right? Next week, I'll message you and let you know the online classroom, but no face-to-face next week for sure. All right? I'll message on the group and let you know by tomorrow. All right? You're okay with this? Are you okay with this, Sabir? Right? So try over the same questions, and of course I'll give you some more practice, right? And online, you all okay there? Online, are you okay? All right. So online, you all can log out, right? You all can log out. Match people, hold on for 10 minutes, right?
Not unmuted yet. Sorry about that. You'll hear it online. Then we'll try this one. I think we can try this one, right? All right. So we do this 3 by 4x. We'll give it 12x. 3 plus 1. 3 multiplied by plus 1, you'll give you 3. Right? So you finish here. We bring down the plus sign. 2 by 2x will give you 4x. 2 by then 2 by 3 give you 6, right? Then we group your common terms, right? The 12 and 4 common, right? Because they both have x's. And 3 and 6 are common, right? And they just simplify it. 12 plus 4, 12x plus 4x. I don't know, the speed, right? So I just write it there. 16x. And then 3 plus 6, 9. You open it with the so this one is minus 2, right? So a negative multiplied by a positive will give you what? A negative, right? So negative 2 by positive 3 will give you negative 6. Don't forget the x. And then negative 2 by positive 1 will give you negative 2, right? Online, we'll send it the answers. Try one more, right? Four. Well, I know the same answers. Right, chart, right? 10 to 31, same thing about 4. All right, so let's try it. So we're doing 4 by 2x, 8x, then 4 by minus 4 will give you minus 16. Then we work in this side. 2 by 2 will give you 4. And then 2 by 3x will give you 6x. Then we group all the terms together, right? So 8x plus 6x minus 16 plus 4. So you get 14x minus 12. Right? And one more. What number you all think here? 1, right? And understood that 1 here, right? Right, so we're doing this one. So it is 2 by 3, 6, 2 by negative x, negative 2x, plus, remember I tell you, the imaginary 1, not imaginary, but it's understood that 1 here, right? So 1 by 2, 2, and then 1 by 2x. Group the like terms together. So we have minus 2x plus 2x plus 6 plus 2. You get 8, right? Because this is 0, 8, right? Right, that looks good. Right. Yeah. Right, no, I'm gonna do this, right? So what we're doing for this one is x multiplied by 2x will give you 2x squared, right? Well, understand how I get the x squared, right? X multiplied by 2x squared, right? Then you're taking the same x value and you're multiplying it by 1. So you get plus x. Then you're taking the second number, minus 1, and you're multiplying it by 2x. You get minus 2x. And then you're taking negative 1 again, and multiply by the positive 1. You get negative 1. You understand this? Same thing, you group your like things together. This one is common. You write back at 2x squared plus, you remain with minus x minus 1. Okay, we want another. I could do another one. Right. So we do it 2x by 3x. You get 6x squared. 2x by 2 plus 4x. Then you work on the second number. Plus 1 by 3x. We get plus 3x. And then plus 1 by positive 2. You get positive 2. You like terms, you add them together. X squared. 4 plus 3 is 7. Plus 2. Then you have any questions? Yeah, fine. There wasn't any answers. Apa nasi kita keluar? Oh, nanti you ready? So what we doing here? 4 by 3x, 12x squared, 4 by plus 1, 4x, 2 by 3 plus 6x, and then 2 by 1 plus 2. The common terms together, so you just add them. Right. Right, so it's 3 by 2, 6x squared. 3x multiplied by 3, 9x. 1 by 2 plus 2x. And then 1 by 3. So you get 6x squared plus 11x plus 3. If we have something like this, what do you think we'll be doing? So if we have something like this, it's basically a simpler form of writing this, right? Same thing, just twice. Okay, another try. Right. So you do it. 2x by 2x is 4x squared. 2x by minus 1 is minus 2x. Minus 1x by 2x is minus 2x. And then minus 1 by minus 1 is positive 1. You like those together. So you just get minus 4x plus 1. Split this here. 3 by 3 is 9x squared. 3 by 2 is plus 6x. 2 by 3 is plus 6x again. And then 2 by 2 plus 4. You like this? 9x squared plus 4. Anybody lost? If you're lost and you're shy, just log in. Leave the room. You change your name. How do you do it? Moving on after this, so now the chance to see. Or some structure. Do this one for me. Online again. Right. So right, you found the LCM, right? To find the LCM, you just multiply these two numbers, right? Yes, 6, right? And then you get 3 sorry, 2 and 3, right? You'll get all right. So now if I put it like this, right? A, B, C, D. If I do this, right? What will be the LCM? BD, right? So you're basically multiplying these two here. And now again, value here. It'll be, hold on. Right? So then you take B by C, they end up with BC. You bring down your plus sign, and then you do the same thing here. You end up with A, B. So we have something like this, x plus all over plus x plus. Right. Oh yeah, yes, yeah. 3 by 2, right? 6. And how we get the value for here? Right, so the LCM is this here. Then how we get the value here? Coming across here. And we taking that value. 3 plus, what was the next? All coming here. And 2 and then we just expand them out, right? So 3 by x is 3x. 3 by 1 is 3 plus 2 by x is 2x. And then 2 by 2 is 4 all over 6. Then we group any like terms, right? Remember, we group any like terms. So the x's together, 3x plus 2x plus 3 plus 4 all over 6. You remain with 5x plus 7 all over 6. Try this one. What number we reach? 3. Right. All right, but 15. What value coming here? So we get the LCM by doing this, right? We just multiply here, right? How we get this value? 5 by 3x plus 2, right? So basically that's going across like this. We bring in only plus sign. And then what we're doing here? What is this value? Oh, come here. 3. Right, now just expand it out, right? So we get 15x plus 10 plus 6x minus 3 all over 15, right? You'll get this right? We'll all the common terms together. 15x plus 6x, the 10 and the 3. 15. Yeah, we add them to 21 plus minus 3 plus 10, 7. So we have 15. Here is the side, right? I don't know, where is this? Everybody get the sign, right? So what's the LCM here? What's the LCM? 12. And then again this value here. 3 by x plus 1. Bring on the plus. And then how again this one? 4. So then you remain with 3 into x is 3x. 3 into 1. 3 plus 4 multiplied by x is 4x. 4 multiplied by minus 2 is minus 8 all over 12. You group their like terms together. They'll remain with 7x minus 5. Right? Did I get that right? Everybody finish. Right. So we're moving on to indices, right? So when you have the two base numbers that are the same, and you're multiplying, you could add the indices. So you could just put a plus sign on top here and add them. So you write back the same number, and then the new and the new value, right? For division, you just minus in them, right? But they have to have the same base value, right? So you write back the number and you subtract the power. If I had this, right? Could I add them? No, right? Because the base value is different, right? Right, what just one, okay? So this is a multiplication here, right? And then you have a division. So we add in these two, and then we subtract in it because they all have the same base value, which is 4. So we have 4, 3 plus and then the division you'll get try this one. Right, so what we doing here? All of them have the base, the same base, right? We adding them, right? And then the division here. Get 2 to the 0, right? Put 2 to the power 0 in the calculator and tell me what value you get. 1, right? So any number to the power of 0 is 1. Right? Any number. So if you have 5 to the power of 0, 1. 6 to the power of 0, 1. Very low. You can change the theme or just below. Now we will right. So we're gonna do factorization quick, right? So we have 12, right? Factorization is basically saying splitting this number into 2 numbers that could go into it. So what 2 numbers could go into 12? 3 and 4, right? Like it'd be 2 and 6, right? When you multiply these 2, you'll get back here, right? Multiply, you'll get back. If we have something like this, right? And we want to know what common between these 2 numbers. What common here? 2. So you can take out 2, right? And so this dot, a dot, right? A dot means multiply, right? Instead of putting X again, you'll get a little confused. So just use the dot for multiply. this, right? If we break this up simpler, and you get, and this is basically 2 multiplied by x, right? And then we can break this up again, right? 2 multiplied by 2. 2 multiplied, right? And you get about 4, right? So now it's easier to see that 2 common, right? So you want to take out what common. We put that outside, we cross it out, and we remain with x plus 2. Okay? If I have something like uh, 9. I'm breaking it up like this, right? 3 multiplied by x plus 3 by 3. What common here? The 3, right? So you just take the 3 outside, cross them out, and remain with this, right? The important thing, right? To know if you do this correctly, you have to multiply this entire thing here to get back here. If you multiply this and you don't get this, then it, so you can try out few for why it sits. Try this one. So how we split this up? 4 by x plus what's the right? 4 by 4. What common here? 4, right? So you write that outside. And we with x plus 4. All right? So we expand it all like this, right? X multiplied by x multiplied by y multiplied by y multiplied by y. You'll understand that, right? Plus x multiplied by x multiplied. This number here will tell you how much x is to put, and this number here will tell you how much y is to put, right? Same thing here, how much x is to put and how much y is to put.
Yes.
So what common between these? 3x. 2x's, right? 1, 2. 1, 2. What else? The cross of 2x's. Any y's common as well? Right. 1, 2. So you remain with y plus x, right?
Next week. One like there will have a class face to face, I might have a online class. All right, if not, I might have to class and if I don't want to do that. Okay. I'll be last of what we must do, be able to sample system, right? But all these people here, all these numbers, nothing to do. All the numbers, nothing to do, right? All the names here. I've already my number here. I'll add you all to the group between today and tomorrow. And I'll message you all what will happen next week. No face to face for sure. Right? My page is sweet over my side. All right. And then we back to normal on Saturday. We follow this up. Right? Julian. Anyway, I will send you all in. Right? So today we will have finished up simplification and start with factorization. Right? And then send a link for our video. I want you all to watch and factorization. Okay, so when it comes next week, we are there. All right. All right, so that's it. Math people, that's it there. Your code, right? And physics people, we start in a yeah.